How do, folks? How you doing? Just a quick one. I thought I'd do a bit of a bounce today. We're probably going to bounce about a few subjects, all pretty much focusing on the same thing, really. The way the world is, the way it's going, the fear that you're all living in at the minute, unnecessarily. But nevertheless, it is fear that's ruling the world at the minute. Whether you're the one that's feeling it or you know ones that are feeling it, there isn't anybody that can say, I don't know anybody that isn't scared shitless of this pandemic at the minute. So yeah, so we need to look more at the agenda rather than the bullshit, because the bullshit is always the distraction. So while ever we're focusing on the bullshit, you're not going to get what's going on. It's a much bigger picture. Now, debt is going to be a huge part of what's coming. And I think they're going to cram as many, well, I know they're going to cram as many folks into debt as possible. Now, a little while ago, on the last lockdown, there was preparing you to fuck up, giving you a bit of money, freezing your debt problems. And it gave everybody that false sense of security, so they spend every last penny they've got. And then they come out of that, and the debts come, don't they? And not only do they come, they get new rules so they can make it easier for them to come and easier for them to screw you. There's going to be a land grab, there's going to be a property grab, they're going to shut your businesses down. The small businesses all need to be taken up by big business. That's what the takeover, that's the corporate takeover. We should know this. So everybody one at a time is going to see these individual problems, and as I've said before, I can't deal with the world. I've tried over and over again to deal with everything I can do, and it's so overwhelming, it just can't happen anymore. But there are solutions out there, and just because somebody won't do it for you, it doesn't really mean that you can't learn. Now, you listen to folks like me, I'm great at answering questions. I can answer all your questions, or as many guys say, all your questions. There's always something I can't, but I can always find the answer to something, and that's the key. You learn to learn. You don't learn to know everything. If you try and know everything, you miss the mark by a mile, because you're so bogged down trying to learn over here, you haven't gone over here where you need to be. So you need to learn, and that isn't learning who can fix it for you. That's learning how to fix it, or how to get the answers to the questions you have, where to find the information you need for this specific problem you're dealing with at the moment. That's learning to learn. And like I say, I'm good at answering questions, and I've never considered myself as a great teacher. Again, answering questions, if that's how you learn, then maybe you'll look at me as a good teacher. I have got somebody who argues black and blue, who has learned so much, telling me I'm a great teacher, but unfortunately, no, she's a great learner, and she asks all the right questions. But, and that's a fantastic memory. But at the end of the day, I'm great at answering questions. What I have seen, and what I've been watching for a while now, is Robert over on the observation deck. I used to watch him when he was just truthing, telling the truth about the real world, or opening eyes to the real world, and I used to love watching his videos. But then he flicked to the law and the debt and the issues that are going on in the world, and rightly so, and it was good to see it happen. But I didn't know. I'm like, well, hang on a minute, where's this switch come from? I knew it should have happened, but hey. So it happened, and I've been watching him really intently as he's giving out more and more information as he's progressing, he's passing it, and he happens to be a great teacher. It's just an absolute fact. When you listen to him, I don't see how he's saying anything in ways others can't understand, and that's what I like, because I've always tried to keep what I say on a level of where folks are, or at least a way they can comprehend what I'm saying. And sometimes it's hard, and sometimes obviously we are going to lose you, because it is difficult to make sure everybody can grasp what we're saying. But he does have a great knack of doing it, and he's released books on this subject of debt. The last one was Lean Machine. This one, Diffusing the Debt Bomb, is just released. Now, I'm halfway through this. I skimmed through it all, had a quick flick through it all, and now I'm reading it intently. I'm halfway through it, only picking it up when I can, but I am halfway through it, and I can honestly tell you, you need to get it if you've got any issues or you think that you might want to learn something, because you are going to get issues invariably in this agenda. At some point down this road, you are going to get issues. So if you're going to be one of them that wait for your issues to come and bite you in the ass and then go looking for somebody to fix it, as it gets busier and busier, the ones that are actually fixing it for you are going to be not doing it because it's impossible. There's too many coming, and the agenda means everybody, so everybody needs to learn. So as I look at this book, as it's not only a book to like, I will deal with situations to make debts go away, to make the collectors go away, but the third party interlopers or the first party, I don't care. But that book is actually going to teach you how to do it, and not only how to make them go away, you're going to make them run away, but you're going to be chasing them. You're going to be chasing them then, because it also teaches you how to go for them and get some of your money back. They've been taking your money. You can go get it back. Now, the processors, they're absolutely faultless. There's no way in the world you're going to follow that process and fail. There's no way it's going to happen unless you don't look at it and you don't do your own due diligence. You get your head into that book and follow the process, and I am absolutely sure, I'd even go as word as say guarantee, you're gonna get success. This system isn't set up with the knowing to fight and fail. If you know, you do win. That's the thing with this system. It's set up and based on fraud. The whole damn thing. They've got not one part of this system that's set up legitimately as far as the way they treat us. So whatever's coming for you, you absolutely can always win. It's a paper world. You get your paperwork in order and you've already won before you start. So I can't recommend it highly enough, and I know I give loads of ebooks away, and folks always come from me for various ebooks on these sort of situations. This one I can't do. It's absolutely brand new. The guy's only just released it. It's just been released. I think it's 25 quid, for God's sake. 25 quid to answer your problems. You don't need to be asking for somebody for it for free. If you want to fix your problems, this is brand new. That guy's put a lot of time into this, and he's put a hell of a lot of effort into it, and he's giving it you for 25 quid. So don't be a tight cunt. If you seriously want to learn anything, if you want to learn anything about dealing with your debts, how to handle it, how to get rid of it, that is the way to do it. It is plain and simple. And that way is better than my way. My way, he'll tell them go away. That way is go away and then come here. Which I personally like, and I'm sure I'm going to modify my own methods to grab a couple from this book. So if I can take from it, you can take from it, and I'm telling you, it's written in a manner that you can comprehend. And if you can't, read it again. That's what I'd say, and then read it again until it makes sense. Words you don't grasp, you don't know what this word means, you don't need to ask on the internet. If it looks like a legal word, look it up in Black's Law Dictionary. Find out what the legalese is. The world's your oyster. You've only got to learn. But anyway, that aside now, bit of a plug there for Robert, but a very well deserved one. Sorry, I've not got the pandemic. It's just very goddamn early for me. As everybody knows, I live a night shift, and I don't get to sleep till about 5 in the morning. And this is wait, I'm up early in the morning. So I've not had much, and I'm all croaky. But anyway, the fear the fear you've got doctors and such like. Now I'm working on a document at the minute, and again it's one I'm keep having to go back to. This one's going to come out, it's going to be posted in one QR for everybody, and this one's going to be for your doctors, your hospitals and such like. Now there's a waiver to it. The waiver part of it isn't mine. I will put my hands up to it. The waiver is from the guy at Solutions Empowerment, Mark, and I've seen this waiver and it's brilliant. So I'm going to write a notice around it, and it'll go with it, and that can go to anybody basically. It won't matter whether it's shops denying your service or anybody telling you can't go in, hospitals, doctors and such like, work and blah blah blah. So anyway, that's what's in the pipeline from me, and again it's something I've been working on it for a while, probably a week and a half, and I just have to keep going back and do a bit and then on to other things. I've got so much juggling as usual. But anyway, that one, hopefully, because that's what I'm hearing a lot of at the minute. Folks are in fear. Now, I did actually have a little doodah with somebody a week or so ago, just popping into a shop. But since then, absolutely nothing at all. I wasn't really in the mood to argue with the fella, so I was really polite with him, explained a few things. I'd got my stuff anyway, so there was no point in any bullshit. I am always armed. I've always armed with this camera of the phone. I've got one place which is my dog food suppliers. It's a farm supplies. They're anal. They're absolutely anal, and I've had loads of discussions about it as I've walked into there, and they've you got a mask there? But I was expecting this time round, as I hadn't been round since the latest round of fuckery had gone on, I was expecting them to just absolutely stop me dead at the door, but no, straight through. So it does appear that there was a little spike in have you got your mask and all that shit when these new suggestions came out. But it appears everybody's just gone back to what it was. So basically, folks, you do need to keep steadfast with it. You really do. It's all fuckery and it's all fake. You don't need to get into arguments. You just need to say no. And you know something? You know, if they are really arsey and they're digging their heels in and you're not going to get served here, you don't need the argument either. Because why would you fight to give somebody money who doesn't really deserve it? In all honesty, I've got an ear that's doing my head in. It's probably doing your head in as well. So anyway, vote with your feet. You don't need to whine about it. I mean, tell your mates. Post on Facebook, this shop's a cunt. I don't know, but you don't need to make such a big deal about, I can't go to this shop anymore. I've heard this, and it's like, I want to fix this. People are asking me, seriously, people have asked me to sort out the shop that won't allow them in. But the reality is, the reason they're not allowed in the shop is because they kicked off and screamed and fucking shouted. But no, I'm not going to fix that. I'm going to fix that. That is immaterial. You know, if a shop won't take your money, they don't deserve your money. Take it somewhere else. Find one that will take your money. That's and as the agenda tightens up, maybe it's going to get to the case where it's harder and harder and harder to find one that will take your money. But you know, those that do, they're going to do cracking business, and they're going to have loads of respect. So find somebody and look after them. Stop going for convenience. That's what's fucked the world. That's how we've fucked the world. That's how we've allowed them to get us to fuck the world. You think of the way there's clever minds in it, but the best minds with unlimited funds. But commercialism alone, you think how commercialism is? It's a natural progression. You have a company, you have a product. After a while, that product slows down. So you think of a new product. But you think of old businesses. This company over there made that, and that company over there made that, and that company may have 4 or 5 products or something they made, and they all did great business, and everybody had business, and everybody could get what they wanted, and it was all from our own countries, wherever you are. It don't matter about it being English or British or whatever, or French or German or Chinese. It don't matter what nationality you are. But if everybody was looking after their own economies and their own local folks, everybody was thriving. But this commercialism, it's created this want. It's like a fucking bandit, into a gambling machine. You're putting your pounds in one after the other. These flashing lights are mesmerising. I want that now. I want another go. I need another pound in there. I might win something. My life might get better if I buy this plastic piece of shit that's cost £1 to make and fuck all else, and you're going to spend 300 quid on it. Or you need the next phone, because the last phone you bought last year for £1,000 fucking pound that works perfectly fucking well, I don't know what, the next one's bigger, or they've told you it's got something else. It's like a shampoo advert, isn't it, where they tell you a new made up fucking chemical it's got in, so you go and buy it. And now they told you this phone's got a new fucking chip in it that's going to be super duper. The camera's going to be better than the camera that was better than the one that was better than the one before that fucker. How good can your cameras get? Oh, it's got 3 flashes or 3 lenses on it now. What do you want fucking 3 lenses for? What was ever wrong with one? I've got multiple cameras, but I've got a great camera. You zoom that fucker in and you zoom for miles. It's only got 1 lens. Why do you need 3 lenses? Look, hey, don't tell me. Nobody come on here and tell me, because I really don't give a flying fuck. I'm trying to point out the illogicality of what you're doing. Folks are running. I've got this daft phone. I've actually got 2 phones. I've got a dumb phone that a really good mate on here sent me, and I've got this one for doing this sort of shit, and other shit that I might need to do, and a little EMP pouch to stick this in when I don't want it. Anyway, but technology, it's not about how good it can get. And obviously, technology can make life easier, but it has to be coming from a good place. Now, if the ones that are running technology, running business and industry in general, if they're not coming from a good place, you've got to presume, really, that the technology that we're using and that they're feeding us isn't for good purposes. Now, we know devices such as this is just a spy device, and yes, I'm telling them everything. I don't give a flying fuck. They know everything I'm going to tell them. Maybe not the guy who's listening, but the system. I'm right. Come bring your claim if not. But anyway, the computer. I see folks, oh, we'll go on this now. We're not gonna do Facebook anymore. We're gonna do this one now. And then after a while, oh, that one's shit, or that one's now not letting you say anything. You're being corralled. You're being corralled. Stop chasing around for the next one. They own it all. Do you really think they would own something like the internet and not own the individual parts of it that are trapping you? So they push you away and from. I mean, really, when you think of Facebook, yeah, I'm not going on, let's fuck Facebook over. They've got billions of people on. Let's fuck them over by us few thousand, going to a shit one where we're not actually reaching anybody, we're not telling anybody anything, because there's no fucker there. And we're going to run away from this to try and fuck them up. Well, you're not going to fuck them up, because their actual goal... What's this idiot doing? Oh my God, I've got somebody just sitting at a red bloody light. Wow. Oh, right, anyway. Wow, sorry, they've blown my bloody head. I can't even remember where I was with that one. I told you it was going to bounce. It was probably going somewhere, but you know me, I'm a brain fart. My brain's working at 200 million miles an hour, and you've only got to shake me and I'm off my track. So there we go. How to fuck an entire video in one swoop. You know something, I'm not even going to give a shit. I am me. Take me or leave me. I'm still going to post the video. So I know we're talking about commercialism. We might actually get it back now. So anyway, they're feeding you all this shit, aren't they? And they're feeding you on a constant basis. So they bring out the next new thing. I don't know where I'm coming back in, by the way. I'm not just seamlessly slipping back in. I'm me, gumshoe, all mistakes accepted. So yeah, they feed the next one out like a drug. And they just keep coming out with new shit, and you're going ooh, 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 ooh. And don't think I'm saying I'm immune to everything, because I've got stuff. I have stuff as well, but I think the difference between me and a lot of folks, I have absolutely no attachment whatsoever to anything I've got. Not as a possession, nothing at all. It doesn't matter what I don't have anymore. I've lived my life with and without. I can honestly say I was happier without. I spent 10 years over here. It's a bounce again, innit? But I did. I spent 10 years over in Cyprus, just in a stunning, beautiful place. And without, really, I was living very much to my means, and my means were survival. But I was living out there in an absolutely stunning place. I had an absolute ball. Me and my wife were the happiest we've ever been, because there was no outside stresses and pressures. I had no clue on politics at all. An entire Prime Minister had come in and gone in England, that Gordon Brown. I had no clue of his name whatsoever. When I came back, it was probably 2 years I'd been back before I even learned that there'd been a Prime Minister called Gordon Brown, when I think it was a family member talking about him, and I thought they was talking about a relative of mine who was George Brown. And yeah, so didn't even know the fella's name. And that was the happiest I'd ever lived, because there was no bullshit. There was no TV. You didn't need a TV in Cyprus, or if you did put it on, it was just a space filler. It was just crap that you was watching, films or something that had come onto a foreign channel. So there was no English news. There was no point in watching the Greek news, even if you I did speak a bit of Greek by the end, but at the end of the day, you couldn't sit and watch the news. They're talking way too fast for me. My sons could watch it, but I couldn't. But yeah, there's just no bullshit. You see the bullshit from afar, but it didn't affect you, because it was like Cypriot bullshit. It was dealing with the Cypriot governments and the Cypriot people, and that's their bullshit. That's their. We've got our own bullshit in England, and I'd kind of separated myself from it. So like I say, 10 years of the happiest part of my life, really, in a place, no TV, no politics. The place had a lot to do with it, but it wasn't all about the place. So the fear does come from what they throw at us. Now, we can't do anything about them throwing it, but we certainly have got the key to our fears. That's entirely to us. There's a nutter behind. Look, I've got a car behind me, and I've got a nutter. Sorry, a car in front of me and a nutter behind me, going absolutely fucking bonkers to get past, pipping and screaming while we're just going through a town centre or a city centre. Absolutely bizarre. People are fucking bonkers. So yeah, be happy, folks. Vote to be happy. Take this stress and shit out of your life. You know, when you go into places and they go rah, 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 rah at you, just bugger off. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere where they're not whining at you. Go to the places where you see the shop attendants not wearing a mask. That's what I like to do. Because it's just ridiculous, the compliance. Anyway, folks, I don't know, make what you want of this video. But I have a crack anyway. Personally, I like bouncing around. I don't like sticking to one subject. If I stick to just one subject, I know I'd probably be a bit more concise. I'd probably help you guys a little bit more, but I wouldn't be me. I like the mistakes. I like to just be me, and I am as authentic as it's ever going to get for you. Don't say I know everything. By all means, don't ever think I do know everything. I get everybody all the time, you know so much sort of attitude, but I'm just a fella. And that isn't me trying to be modest. I am just a fella, and everybody can learn anything. There's loads of folk out there know far more than me. I just know who the hell I am. And that's what you need to know. Cut through the crap know who you are, and only study to the point and the direction that affects your life, because there's far too much out there. Far too much out there to think you can know it all. You're either going to skim the surface and know fuck all, or you're just going to waste your entire time missing the mark. Learn who you are in this trust relationship. Learn that this is all commerce, because it is. It's all commerce with the trust. Anyway folks, have a good one. That's me gone. The phone's going. I'll see you later. Ta-da.